afternoon, everyone. Today, we unveil a significant step forward in the Commission on Elections' continuing mission to modernize our electoral processes and promote transparency and accountability. Welcome, everyone, to the launch of Project Suri. Siya sa ating unawain, resolbahin at ipanagot. Or in English translation, to examine, comprehend, resolve, and make accountable. Today's launch is more than just the unveiling of a digital platform. It is also a bold initiative towards modernizing campaign finance accountability and compliance. Before anything else, I would like everyone to know, especially our guests, that we have a live coverage of our event today in the social media accounts of the Commission. And we have photographers and media representatives who are taking also coverage of our occasion. For this milestone, we are joined by our key partners and stakeholders. So please allow me to acknowledge our distinguished and esteemed guests. It is my distinct honor to acknowledge the Ambassador of Japan to the Philippines, His Excellency Endo Kazuya. From the United Nations Development Program, we have Deputy Resident Representative Honorable Edwin Carey. From the Right to Know Right Now Coalition, we have co-convener Ms. Manu Mangahaw. Allow me also to acknowledge some of our other guests. From the Embassy of Japan, we have Third Secretary Yosuke Saka. From UNDP, we have Ms. Vivianis Huerta Cortez. We also have Mr. Angelo Templo Nuevo and Ms. Lorraine Goyena. From Ubiquity Incorporated, we have Reynaldo Lentin Jr., Senior Business Development Manager. We also have other attendees, Tue Ocampo and Evangeline Escuejo. From the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, we have Executive Director Carmela Conbuena. Allow me also to recognize from the Commission on Elections, we have our Commission and Bank with Chairman George Irwin and Garcia. We have Commissioner Ray E. Bunay. We have Commissioner Ernesto Ferdinand T. Maceda Jr., Commissioner Nelson J. Celis, Commissioner Maria Norina Canaro Estetingan, and last but not least, Commissioner Noli R. Pico. Also gracing today's occasion are our directors, senior officials, and heads of the Commission on Elections main office. And of course, we also have the Political Finance and Affairs Department. Let us now move forward with the rest of the program. At this point, let us hear the opening remarks of the head of the Commission's Digitalization Program. Everyone, please welcome Honorable Commissioner Nelson J. Celis.
Good afternoon to all of us. Chairman George Garcia, His Excellency Endo Kazuya, konnichiwa, Ambassador of Japan of the Philippines, Commissioner Ray Bulay, Commissioner Ernesto Maceda, Commissioner Nori Singal, Commissioner Noli Pipo, Honorable Edwin Carey, Deputy Resident Representative of the UNDP, Ms. Malu Mangahas, the R2KRN Coalition, to, of course, to our COMELEC personnel, colleagues, good day again. On behalf of the Commission on Elections, allow me to express my sincere gratitude for your presence and solidarity in celebrating this milestone towards the digitalization of one of our key electoral processes. the official launching of Project Suri. Allow me to acknowledge the unwavering dedication of Executive Director Chupisto Elnas Jr., Director Prime Mag-id of Political Finance and Affairs Department, Director Sonia Bea Lusada, who serve as the project manager of this initiative, along with the entire IFAD team for their steadfast commitment to this groundbreaking endeavor. What began on February 5, 2025 of this year culminated in a fully developed and deployment ready system by June 2, 2025. A remarkable feat accomplished in just 5 months. So far, this is the fastest system developed for the Commission on Elections. Through their collective effort, we have significantly enhanced the Commission's digital capabilities, most notably in enabling the online filing of the statement of contributions and expenditures or SOSE, as well as campaign finance reports. This marks a pivotal step forward toward a more efficient, transparent, and accountable system of election management. Project Suri, we talk about this. There should be an acronym for Suri. So PFAD and the rest of the team of the OCNJC came out with an acronym that stands for SIA sa atin, or investigate, unawain, understand, resolbahin, resolve of course, at ipanagot, ensure accountability. It's not merely a technological platform, but it stands on its own. Project Suri is for the electronic submission of the statement of contributions and expenditures. It shows our renewed perspective on how we must fulfill our constitutional mandate to ensure that elections are not only peaceful and orderly, but they are auditable, transparent, just, and fair, such that violators of our election laws and rules are held accountable. It is also important to acknowledge that this commission did not reach this milestone alone. And so today, I also wish to extend our deepest appreciation to the Embassy of Japan, the United Nations Development Program, and Ubiquity, the partner of UNDP in developing the SURI, for their enduring support and shared commitment to electoral advancement since day one. From past collaborations to today's milestone, the UNDP has remained our steadfast partner for the enhancement of our electoral systems. From previously old manual, tedious processes to transparent, user-friendly, efficient, and systematic mechanisms. Their support is not only technical, it is a vote of confidence in the innovative strategies and policy direction of the Commission. We also extend our sincere gratitude to the Department of Communications and Technology through Secretary Henry Aguda. Isang sulat lang, sagot kagad, implement kagad yung suporta for this Suri project. Salamat po, Secretary Haguda, and for invaluable assistance in the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, which means to say that the project Suri is risk-free of any vulnerabilities and hacking. Their support has been instrumental in ensuring that the system meets the highest standards of cybersecurity prior to its public launch. Indeed, the time has come for us to fully harness technology in safeguarding the integrity of our elections. Through Project Suri, we empower our citizens to be critical, watchful, and hold the candidates to account. Suri also equips our candidates with a system that will help them to be proactively compliant with election laws, transparent and truthful. Project Suri also help us enforce or reinforce the foundation of a modern electoral system, one worthy of the public's trust. In the months ahead, we look forward to the continued expansion and refinement of this system. But beyond the tools and the technology, the ultimate aim of this project is to nurture a culture of transparency, accountability, and democratic participation. May this day serve as a reminder that even in the face of challenges democratic states face around the world, there are bold and deliberate actions we can take in our respective jurisdictions. Actions in policy direction, in digital transformation, that when born out of unity and a shared sense of duty, have the power to shape the future of our nation and sustain the strengthening of our democracy. Thank you very much, and the Commission looks forward to a sustained digital transformation journey with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner Nelson J. Salas, for that noteworthy message and for leading the Commission's digitalization efforts. At this point, let us now hear the messages of support from our key partners who stand beside COMELEC in its mission of electoral integrity and innovation. For the first message of support, let us please welcome the Deputy Resident Representative of UNFPP Philippines, Honorable Edwin Perry.
Magandang hapon. I would like to recognize our distinguished members and VIPs, Commissioner Garcia. Thank you so much for the partnership with UNDP. Ambassador Enzo Kazuya from Japan. Thank you for the partnership. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Commissioners Ray Bulay, Nelson Celis, Ernesto Maceda Jr., Maria Tangaro Kasingal, Noli Pipo. Let me also recognize Miss Malu Mangahat, who's also on our panel. Uh, Dear Comelec partners and UNDP colleagues, partners in development, again, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. It's my privilege to be here with you today for the launch of the ESOC platform, the electronic platform which will allow political candidates and parties to record the statement of contribution and expenses from campaign finance. It is a momentous event, not only in the life of the project, which is funded by Japan, which support this initiative, but also in the life of this country. The Philippines has a history of constitutional reforms and democracy. Indeed, Philippines is one of the oldest democracy in Asia, the first country in Asia which elected a president through popular vote, first country in Asia which elected a female president, one of the first countries who extended suffrage to women. When half of the planet voting was still a man issue, the Philippines actually decided to go in a different way. So the issue of reform, of constitutional reform, has been at the heart of the policies of this country. And it's an honor for UNDP to be here with you today as a partner to launch the platform. This platform is not only a tool, it's a useful tool and an important tool, but it's also a clear signal of the will, the political will of the country when it comes to integrity, visibility, and efficiency in campaign finance. With the tool, we are seeing three different impacts at three different levels. First, for the candidates and the political parties, a tool that will allow them to file their campaign finance data in an effective, quick, and fluid way. For the COMELEC, it will be an opportunity for more efficient data management and data flows. It will be easier for COMELEC to review those applications by political parties and candidates. And three, the platform is also a mirror that allows the citizen to have a clearer view and overview over climate finance. So this platform is as much as about integrity, visibility, and efficiency as it is about inclusion and participation, about citizens' oversight. So we are very pleased that we are associated with this initiative. Let me take this opportunity to recognize the vision and leadership of the COMELEC under the chairmanship of Chairman Garcia. We are really proud to be your partner. Thank you for the partnership with UNDP, Chairman and COMELEC colleagues. Maraming salamat po to the government of Japan, to the people of Japan, and the Embassy of Japan in the Philippines. Thank you very much. In the current context, in the current global context, one must appreciate all the more the solidarity from other countries because multilateralism is facing strong headwinds, and we don't know what the future will hold when it comes to ODA. So again, domo arigato gozaimasu to the government of Japan. And to the future users of the platform and to my colleagues, really, it's good luck. We look forward to see improvement, efficiency, fluidity when it comes to campaign finance management. And we look forward to see the impact of the tool in the coming weeks and months. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat din po. The privilege is ours. Honorable Edwin Perry, thank you for that very meaningful message and thank you for supporting us in this very historic milestone. Now for the second message of support, let us all please welcome the Ambassador of Japan to the Philippines, His Excellency Endo Kazuya.
Attorney George Owen Garcia, the chairperson of the Commonwealth, distinguished commissioners and officials of the Commonwealth, Mr. Edwin Curry, Deputy Resident Representative, United Nations Development Program, distinguished stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Isang karangalan na makasama ko kayo ngayon. It's not last. Nais ko po sanang magpasalamat sa inyo sa pagbibigay ng pagkakataong maging tagapagsalita sa pagpapasinaya ng electronic submission of statement of contributions and expenditures. That this is really difficult for me. This project is supported by the government of Japan's grant as part of the project for raising voters' awareness and promoting digitalization of electoral process in Bangsamoro. First of all, I would also like to express my sincere appreciation and respect for the COMELEC's continued commitment and leadership to make the electoral processes more transparent and more accountable. I myself had the privilege of observing the voting processes of the midterm election on May 12th at some polling stations in Metro Manila. Though there would still be rooms for improvement, I witnessed that the processes were managed in quite a smooth and orderly manner with very Filipino energy and enthusiasm. As there is work yet to be done with the momentous Bangsamoro parliamentary election scheduled in October, the government of Japan is pleased to support the COMELEC during this super election year. In March, Japan provided the ICT equipment and satellite communications units to the COMELEC, which were utilized in the midterm elections in May. Today, we are delighted to support the electronic submission of SOSI. The SOSI is a crucial component of Philippine elections. It facilitates the accurate reporting of campaign financing of candidates and political parties. With the launching of the eSoci platform, we hope it will make a step towards more accountability and transparency of the electoral finances in the parliamentary elections and beyond. This digital platform is expected to facilitate the real time tracking and monitoring of SOC that can help lessen the incidence rates of potential violations, especially of those candidates assuming office. This will also allow for greater efficiency within the Comelec. It should help streamline the processes and make it more cost effective and transparent. Furthermore, we hope that greater public trust and confidence could be inspired by making the SOCI readily available online in a user friendly format. With the earlier provision of equipment and today's eSOCI platform, we expect these interventions will be fully employed for democratic practices, particularly in the first ever parliamentary election in the BAM. I would like to thank the COMELEC and the UNDP for your tireless and dedicated commitments in bringing the electoral processes closer to the people. Your strong cooperation addresses the information gaps and empowers the voters to make informed decisions that will influence the trajectory of growth in the region. Last but not least, Japan, as a long-standing partner committed to supporting the peace process in Mindanao, sincerely hopes that our combined efforts will positively impact the region to usher in the peaceful and progressive future the Bangsamoro people truly deserve. Yan. Gusto ko sana parang galang ang Comelec at UNDP sa kanilang pagsisikap para sa patuloy na pagpaunlad na demokrasya sa Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po, Shanti.
Arigato gozaimasu, His Excellency Endo Kazuya. We are truly more than grateful for all your support to the Commonwealth project, including, as you have mentioned a while ago, the upcoming Boyne elections. Now, at this point, let us hear an address from the Commissioner in charge of the PFAD, the visionary behind this project and one of the driving forces who have ensured that this innovation reaches our stakeholders today. We want to please welcome Commissioner in charge, Honorable Commissioner Ray E. Bugan.
Thank you, Attorney Bianca. Our handsome and debonair Chairman George Erwin M. Garcia, His Excellency Endo-san Kasuya of the Embassy of Japan, and the Government of Japan, Honorable Edwini. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Edwin. So the E is silent, like not like wine, Edwine. Edwin Terry, Deputy Resident Representative of the UNDP and the people of Haiti. Commissioner Head ng Digitex na Digitalization ng COMELEC, Commissioner Nelson J. Celis. Equally, Commissioner Ernest P. Maceda. Equally, Commissioner Nori pati ng ano, kasingal, Commissioner Noli Artico. Support, co-convenor, R2K2M, Miss Malu, mga hat, and the head of the PFAD, Director April Q. Bagit, the hardworking men and women of the PFAD Affairs Department. Mind you, it is now a department, senior officers in this event headed by Sonia Bea Lozada. Senior officers of the Commission, COMELEC stakeholders, members of civil society, our partners from media, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hi, welcome and thank you for joining us in today's launch of Project Suri, or the E-Soche project. To the people of Japan, Hokoshi Kutsai Masita. Republic Act 7166, spelling the importance of the Sochi. I hope everyone in the room understands why e-Soche is very important. It requires every candidate and treasurer of each political party file a statement of contributions which they receive for the election and their expenditures for the election. 30 days, within 30 days from the end of election. It should be a full, true, itemized statement of all contributions and expenditures in connection with an election. Why is this important? This is important because COMELEC's mandate is to level the playing field. So the law imposed spending limits of how much each candidate can only spend per voter in an election. So basically, that is why we need Project Suri to scrutinize if they violated this law on spending limits so that the level, if the candidate is poor and the candidate is rich, we have a fair, COMELEC will be able to provide a fair, level playing field. The submission of the Soche is important. No candidate, even if they have won, even if they have been proclaimed, can enter the duties of his public office without filing the Soche. That is how important this is. And through your kindness, you will be able to implement this digitally. I would like to underscore the importance of your assistance. Since 2023, the UNDP has supported and strengthened the digitization capacity of our commission, Mamilek, starting with the promotion of women's political participation in the Philippines. Am I correct, Director Bea? Only it was a different provider. It's not the people of Japan. Okay. In context, our project Suri, for the benefit of those who are not Filipinos, uh, means in English is to examine or audit, or Seita Suru, or Etsu Suru, not sorry or Gomen Nasai. Sorry, I will not do it again. It doesn't mean that way. This aptly captures the essence of the project's initiative. That is to place political finance duty under strict scrutiny by the Department of Director Prime Pag-ibig. Tireless po yan. Palakpakan po natin siya pagkatapos kong pagalitan pa kahapon. Mm. Having large amounts of data literally in the fingertips of the COMELEC, we now have enhanced data analytics. We now have data governance where once we do not have records keeping as complete as should be, that should answer all the questions we have in our minds. The key features of this project of the UNDP, sponsored by the government of Japan, will provide us a secure digital platform, secure, strict access to it by providing an authentication code. Nandiyan ba si Director Genie? Kasi naintindihan ko na to. And then upload all the filings done by the candidates, the political parties, and those that supported the candidate in relation to that election. We have document submission in this platform, and then it will generate a report, accurate enough. And the most important aspect, we will provide a public dashboard. As intimated to me earlier, it will be on a separate, uh, shall we say, receiver like the DICT, who will provide the public with such disclosure. I hope I understand you correctly. So let me be clear that this is not just about technology, it is about public trust. Public trust is the real currency in elections in this era. When candidates and political parties submit their financial documents and disclosures electronically, the public can verify this through online dashboard. We promote transparency, compliance, and objectivity. The true measure of success of the Comelec digital transformation is not what we possess or implement the technology itself. The true measure of Comelec digital transformation is how it improves governance and how it serves the public. On behalf of the Commission on Election, ladies and gentlemen, I express my heartfelt thanks to our partners and stakeholders and the hardworking people of Comelec. This project would not have been possible without the generous support of the United Nations Development Program, or the UNDP as we fondly call it. Let's give them a round of applause. Maraming salamat po. Arigato gozaimasu. Anata no senkyo. Senwa. Pontoni. Hijoni. Juyudesu. I hope, Endo-san, you understand my Japanese. Thank you very much, the people of Japan, to the Filipino people for believing in us. Maraming salamat.
Thank you for that strong message and for your strong leadership, Honorable Commissioner Ray E. Bulay. We echo that e-source is a vital component of post-election accountability and accompanying finance transparency. Now let us get to know more about the heart of today's launch, and that is about the Project Suri or e-source web application. To walk us through its features and to demonstrate how this web application works, I would like to invite here to the podium the Information Officer of Commission on Elections, Mr. Leo L. Lim.
Yes, good afternoon, Honorable Chairman, for distinguished guests, Honor His Excellency, Mr. Andrew Kazuya, okay, Honorable Edwin Carey, and members of the Commission on Bank, Commissioner Bulay, Commissioner Celis, Commissioner Maceda, and the members of the senior staff. So much has been said already about this app, the eSOSA app. It is a submission platform, no, that would be used by the PFAD, no, Political Finance and Affairs Department. Okay, so today I'm going to walk you through the app. Okay, just a caveat where we will be demonstrating to you the beta version of the app. Okay, uh, okay. So there will be four components of the app. One is the authentication. One is authentication, wherein we enroll our account. This is for the candidate. Then we have the document submission, report generation, and the public dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to bring up now the main board. Okay, so this is the landing page. This is the main board of the eSOSE platform. Okay. I guess the landing page would be published at our website, official website, www.comelec.gov.ph. Okay. Then after we click that URL, it's going to bring us to this site. Okay. So what you'll see right now is the sign in. This is a sign in page. If you still don't have an account, you can register or create an account. So by clicking that, you have to input your email address, of course, your password. Then select the type of user. Okay, so this time we're going to be a candidate. Then the name. So we type in the name. Okay. So the name. Then if you don't want to use your middle initial, you can just type in NA. Then surname. Okay. Then you have the sex. So male, of course. The name of the political party. You can type in the name of the political party. So I'll just use ABC here. Then elected position. So it's just a drop in menu. You can select which position you're running. So it could be a senator, party list, members of House of Representatives, governor, down to the local positions like members of the Sangguniang Bayan, and so I'll just choose senator. Okay. Then sorry, we'll just choose senator. Then you have to confirm this. Then click create an account. After clicking this create an account, an email will be sent to your official email. So part of this would be we will be requiring those candidates to provide us with their official emails. That will be the way for us to validate if they are really a candidate. Okay. So after the submission, I will go back to the sign in page. So I just sign in. .com. Oh, sorry. Okay, then my password. Okay, so this is now your details. So your name of the candidate, their political party, then elective position. So the first board would be the contribution section, contributions board. Before you upload, so you'll be instructed to download the contributions template. It is a worksheet. It is actually an Excel worksheet. You don't have to accomplish the form online. You can just download it, fill it up, then you can upload the worksheet. So I downloaded the worksheet. Then after that, we open it. Okay, wait. Okay, just save it. Then go to your downloads. Then yes, schedule of contributions received. Okay, so you can fill it up. You can fill it up on offline. For the purpose of the demo, I already filled this up. I already have an accomplished file. So I just click upload contributions Excel file. Then I get it from the IFAD, ESOC demo. Then schedule of contributions received. Okay, then you can upload it now. After uploading, you can see already the data contained in the worksheet. You will that you don't have to fill up anything online, just the enrollment, because all the information will be extracted from the Excel file. Okay. So from here, you can see already the entries there. So if I click OK, then it is successfully saved. Then if I look at the submission, okay, you can see it here. It says incomplete submission. Why? Because we haven't uploaded yet the supporting documents. Okay. For this, for the contributions, you have to submit the receipt. Okay. So we just upload it. Okay. So for this, I will click here, upload proof. We just use receipt one. I don't know if it's the correct one. Then upload also this. Okay, so if I submit it, if I click OK, now your submission is completed. Okay, then after this, you upload you. Then after this you go to the expenditures version. Okay, you also have to download the expenditures template, also an Excel worksheet. Then go to your download files. Then you fill it up offline. Okay, then after filling it up, you upload. Okay, we go to here, upload expenditures Excel file. Okay, so we just click it. Then that's your data for your expenditures. Okay, then we can see here incomplete attachment. So we upload the supporting document. This time we use receipt 2. Okay, then after that we click OK. Now, if you check here in the report generation, you already have a filled up SOSE form. Okay. 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 So what's next? You can print this. You can print this file, or you can download its PDF file. So I click download. Okay. So now it's converting that data to an Excel file. So I just put it in my download folder. Okay. Then after that, I can preview that downloaded document. Okay. So this is the first stage of our TOSE form. Okay. Then after that, you go back to the okay, you go back to the main dashboard. Then you can now if you download if you download this already, you one of the requirements will be it has to be notarized. Okay, the notarized document would have to be uploaded. Okay, so assuming that I already had it notarized, so I upload the PDF file. So I get it from my download folder. Then I say SOSE. Okay, then confirm. Okay, okay. So now after this, you can now download your acknowledgement of submission. Okay, that's an acknowledgement of your submission. It is not still a certificate of submission. I think the requirement for you to take oath is the statement of submission, certificate of submission. Okay, why acknowledgement of submission? Because after this, it will undergo a document audit, wherein the auditors from the PFAD will audit the form submitted, the document submitted, and if it is compliant with our requirements, then a certificate of submission will be issued to the candidate. Okay. Then you can also preview this. So this is the acknowledgement of submission. Okay, you can download it, print it, and use it to be submitted to whoever. Okay. Then after this, if you're going to but one of the feature is if you go back to the function. Let's say for the expenditures, now in the actions portion, there is no upload already. Because after finalizing your submission, you cannot amend your submission. You have to inform the PFAD that you will amend your submission. If I remember it right, resolution number 11109 allows the candidate to amend their submission. But this time they have to inform the PFAD that they're going to amend their submission. Okay, so it completes the submission portion. Okay, then the we also have the oh, I lost it here. I'll just get it from my one of the functionality that we requested for the developers to do is the public dashboard. Okay, I'll just show you the public dashboard. I just have to get it from my makikita niyo pa yung mga messages ko. Sorry. Short lang. Yeah. Uy, okay. So, pag ganito, we're using a beta version. This is not the live, this is not the live app. So it will take you to a SOSE preview page. It has two dashboards. Okay. The first dashboard, you can drill in to your specific target, which is a candidate. Okay. You have to you can these are the filters. You have the region, the province, the district, the position, the name of the candidate, and their official email. Okay. So, but this time it only has one data. So from the home here, we can see who this candidate is. You have the first name, last name, and the email address. Then you can now display the first page of the SOSE. So, pag si Miss Malu nag-request po ng copy, hindi na po namin i-redact. Ano na pa siya, you already have a redacted version of the SOSE. Okay? So the next dashboard, the eSOSE dashboard, it has this statistics. So if you want to look at the spendings for a particular candidate or particular province, municipality, or district, okay, you can just select it from here. Let's say from all regions, and for the position, let's say for congressman, if I click it, okay, so if I click it, so it says you expect seven submissions. For the statistics, you have five submitted. So this represents 71.43% submission. And here is the percentage. Okay. And that's it. This is still in a work in process because hinabo lang po namin ito. And one part also that we requested the developers to design is the admin dashboard. So for the admin dashboard, we can access the submission, we can conduct the audit, we can conduct the compliance audit. Then based on that function, we will get determine if the candidate is compliant with our campaign finance rule, or if they have a violation, and if they will be subject to filing of an election case for violation of the campaign finance rule. Okay. So I guess this is it. This is the two apps that we will be deploying. By the way, this dashboard, the public dashboard, this will be integrated to the dashboard, the what do you call this, the Kabatiran platform. No, I think the Kabatiran platform, it contains statistical records of the Commission on Elections. So one part here would be the data that will be generated from the eSote platform. And looking forward, we still see this app to accept submissions from the contractors, from the social media entities, and what else? Social media entities, contractors, and other stakeholders which are required to submit their reports relating to the campaign finance rule. Okay. Well, that's about it. It's only short. It's only a short presentation. I just walk you through the applications. And after this, I think this will be already be the landing page will already be posted in our official web page. This app will be deployed prior to the BARM elections. No, we're going to test the app during the BARM elections. So the submission for the SOSE for the BARM elections would be online. But don't worry, those data that we already got from the submission from the NLE. For the information, everybody, based on the submission, we already created a database which we can upload to this application so you can look back to the submission for the candidates for the national and local elections. So with that, thank you very much. And by the way, pahabol po, it can be accessed using your computer or using your mobile phone.
Thank you, Sir Lee, for that a very clear and comprehensive presentation. Can you once again give a hand to the Political Finance and Affairs Department for coming up with this great innovation? My takeaway from the platform is that now it is more easier, more faster, and even more convenient for the candidates and for political parties to file their suffrage. So on the part of the public, it is easier, of course, to know about this information. It's more convenient. Okay, now let us listen to a real world perspective on the impact of transparency and accountability measures, especially on campaign finance and election rules. Let us hear this from a testimonial of a stakeholder. That stakeholder, of course, is the biggest network tackling freedom of information here in the country. That is Right to Know, Right Now Coalition. To welcome convener of Right to Know, Right Now Coalition, Miss Malu.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. I am speaking today as a journalist and as an FOI advocate. Pero panimula, let me make a confession. I am a social data user. That guy, Director Efrain Bagid and Attorney Ann Mendiola are the social data pusher. It wasn't like that before. Actually, we've been monitoring SOSE and campaign finance data since 2010 elections. Okay, it used to be a hole in the wall, the office. Became a hallway in the wall, but now it stands on its own 2 feet. But that is, of course, in large measure credit to the people on the presidential table, the alpha of election lawyers and the Commission on Elections, Chairman George Erwin M. Garcia, Commissioner Ray Bulay, who was, it must be stressed, at the inaugural of the prototype project for Suri in 2003, the Inception Workshop hosted by the UNDP. And there, Mr. Bulay gave very inspiring remarks, prompting me and the participants to say, kay gulay may buhay ang project. Actually, we also would like to thank, of course, Commissioner Nelson J. Sedis, the band leader in the COMELEC digitalization team, Director Efrain Bagid, of course, the big daddy of the SOSE and campaign finance work of the COMELEC, and Attorney Ann Mendiola and the PFAD staff who had always been diligent and dedicated to their work, no matter how voluminous the documents they have to handle. And Attorney Sonia Bea, she's been with us from 2010, 2011, as part of the campaign finance unit. Okay, let me tell you a story about actually why the SOSE is important. How many types of public officials do we think we have? Those who elect to public office. You might say the categories would only be fair if we measure them by the universal standards of honesty, competence, transparency, and performance in public office. A Chief Justice once told me in an interview that we have possibly three types of public officials. The first, the honest but incompetent. The second, the dishonest but competent. And the third, the honest and competent. Now, I say this because I think in our estimate, we would have different opinions on whether we have fewer or more of which category. However, I think what we should do could be a pre-test or post-test of how honest they will be in terms of money in elections or how they use, raise, and spend money in elections. Ang sabi nga ng iba from 2010 when we were monitoring campaign finance already, ang Pilipinas sa pag-eleksyon, usapang pera at politika. It's possibly also true elsewhere that money politics drive and rule elections. Indeed, how candidates raise campaign funds from whosoever and spend it however they want, it's the first true barometer of how they will be honest or dishonest once elected into office. Many big donors the SOSE will show may indeed pass for political venture capitalists. They like to invest big so they could win big or collect big after elections. To the last, also, the candidates profess love for the poor and hatred for corruption. They profess honesty in the conduct of public service. No matter the millions or billions they spend in campaign funding, they still grow richer and richer after every election. That is, even with the modest lawful salaries their positions offer. All sorts of merchants abound, not just candidates and political parties, before, during, and after elections. Money from political ads line the pockets of media agencies, media agents, public relations people, production houses, influencers, celebrity endorsers, and all sorts of fixers. On ground and online, ward leaders, handlers, buyers and sellers of votes abound. Without a doubt, 5Gs now rule, all rooted and powered by money, elections in the Philippines. They drive victory or defeat in elections for most candidates. And what are these 5Gs? Guns, drones, gold, glitter, and gigabytes. Si Ma'am Natato. Through it all, we must revel in the beauty of one document that will be so important for assessing all these matters. That is the wonderful SOSE, or the Statement of Contributions and Expenditures that they file as a baseline tracking document. It must be stressed that sources must be filed by those who ran, won, and lost in elections, not just political parties or candidates, but also their suppliers and contractors, which means SOSE investigation should also include them over time. The SOSE, however, is a very handy tool. The SOSE data, if mined and analyzed and validated with related documents, this is what we did as journalists. The SALN, Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Network, SEC corporate records, property titles, field observation, and multiple source interviews. They are a preview of how those we elected will behave once they perform or assume power. It must be stressed that to its credit, election after election since 2010, the Commission on Elections has achieved steady progress in regard to how candidates and political parties must conform with the filing of sources. This has been done through various ways. One, fixing clear deadlines for filing, presenting them forms with more detailed and expansive required data entries. imposing penalties for non-filers or those who file flawed sources. And now, through a big leap of faith online, we have today eSoce or Project Suri. From what was initially the Campaign Finance Unit, later the Campaign Finance Office, and now the Political Finance Affairs Department, the COMELEC has made big strides, that must be stressed, in assigning value and agency to its socio work. Thanks to a small but truly diligent, the honest and the competent people of PIFAD who are assigned to do social work through the years. We have seen incremental progress, but our work is never done. Okay, so we have Isose, we have Suri, but maybe let's talk about the future that beckons. What do we want to see happen before 2028? I think there could be, and this is a project that all of us, not just COMELEC, but all CSOs as well as citizens and journalists could do together. One, face up to the challenge of scaling up. Second, face up to the challenge of sustainability. Next, the challenge of user engagement, managing supply demand interface. We could do well with, for example, a complement of plantilla or tenured PFAD personnel today. No more the very quick turnover rate of PFAD people. With additional, I think ang laki ng turnover rate kasi nga, their contract of service and then of course they're challenging people in high office. How could you muster the courage to face them when they challenge you? It's so simple. Like, we also probably need not just additional hands in PIFAD, permanent hands, but hands or people who could do validation and forensic audit of the SOSE that had just been filed by the candidates, not simply because these are over or under spending limits, but also because we have to parse the lies and the truth behind the SOSE filings of candidates. We might also, as I think Director Bagid wanted to get into this, look at the sources or the filings made by donors. Did they file? Did they not file? Did they file correctly? Did they not file correctly? Their service providers, media agencies, media agents, production houses, and other contractors. Next, we could even do better with a fully robust budget for PIFAD to be able to conduct learning events for citizens on how to understand and appreciate e-SOSE and campaign finance that could be done between, before, or during election period. Perhaps it is time before the next election in 2028 for citizens to be brought on board and to appreciate Suri. Best of all, we'd be happy with more outputs and outcomes from COMELEC and PIFAD in its work on SOSE and campaign finance. That is, the SOSEs assist beyond the quick review of those who filed, did not file, filed more, spent more, than the allowable spending limits. This is a task we must all share with the COMELEC. This is where the eSOSE or Suri becomes absolutely useful to all of us. Yet still, our SOSE project actually presents bigger challenges. How could we make sense of all its bountiful data sets? How could we make such data sets boost compliance or honesty among candidates? How could we, of course, make our voters and citizens care and believe that there is one true narrative here: elections, governance, and democracy? Good elections could possibly foster good governance and possibly stronger democracy. In fact, through Isose and Suri, we probably take the first step today to make our voters believe again that elections will be fairer, more inclusive, more credible, and more honest. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Ms. Maluma Nahas from the Right to Know Right Now Coalition. We are humbled, and at the same time, we are challenged even more. And thank you for sharing your experiences and your insights. And we sincerely believe that Ms. Maluma Nahas with the Right to Know Right Now Coalition is pivotal in the achievement of this milestone. So our hats off to the coalition, and our hats off also to other movements and other causes centered on freedom of information, and electoral integrity. Moving forward, to share Comelec's vision and the Commission's continued commitment to electoral reforms, let's please welcome Chairperson of the Commission on Elections, no other than Chairman George Erwin Ambertia.
Good afternoon to each and everyone. Mr. Ambassador, Your Excellency, Your Honor, the members of the Commission and Bank, uh, Mamalu Mangahas, Tita Malu, PCIJ, the Right to Know Right Now Coalition, the members of the senior staff, the members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Just several days ago, your Philippine Commission on Election received the highest ranking given to a government agency from the Commission on Appointment, a Commission on Audit. And that is we were given for the second year an unmodified, unqualified opinion. It goes to show, because of this citation, by the Commission on Audit, that the Commission on Election, at least perhaps, is doing something to ensure transparency in our finances, transparency in our budgeting processes, transparency, and to ensure governance um, in all our affairs. And that's the reason why we are so proud in this project, Suri, because this goes to show that the Commission on Elections here really bent in proving to the entire country, to the entire world, that transparency and accountability will always be the bedrock on and the foundation of our governance here in the Commission on Election. However, there are certain unfortunate issues that I would like us to discuss, even for a short while. One, the issue of our PFAD. You see and you know, originally PFAD was just a mere campaign finance office. But we expanded PFAD. It's now the Political and Finance Affairs Office because we honestly believe that there is no body in the Commission on Election handling the concerns of political parties and party lists. It cannot be the clerk of the commission because before it used to be the clerk of the commission handling the concerns of political parties and party lists. That will be right prior to the accreditation. But how about after accreditation? So we decided it should be PFAD. And so we renamed the uh, Campaign Finance Office into a Political and Finance Affairs Department in order to broaden its powers and function and duty, not only to ensure on the sources submission of candidates, political parties and party lists, but likewise to handle the concerns of the party list. But the issue will not stop there. There is a greater and bigger issue. And that is until today, despite the persistent effort of your commission election, with the push coming from the right to know right now, which the group of Mamalumangas had been likewise had known this issue, is that until today, Mr. Ambassador, the Political Finance and Affairs Department is a department but only a department without a formal paper recognition from other agencies of government, meaning to say it is not yet officially recognized as a full department by even our Department of Budget and Management and even by the Legislative Department, meaning to say it is performing a very important task, a very important function, and yet most of the officers, the staff uh, manning the department are coming from the different offices of the commission, detailed to this department. For your information, Director Prime Mag-ib is actually an assistant regional director coming from a region in the country. And therefore, he had been here in the main office of the commission for almost 8 years, manning the Political Finance and Affairs Department. And so we merely took one different personnel from different offices, and this department had not yet been officially created and recognized. And in fact, there is no plantilla positions yet for this office, for this particular office. We had been asking the executive department if they can please allow officially the creation of this office. It is not an office which is to perform only a very simple task. It is not an office which is to exist only for 1 day, 2 days, or just several weeks. It is an office which should be there regardless as to whether it's post-election, pre-election, or even election time. And that is the importance of this department. We're hoping that civil society organizations will be helping the commission in pushing for the official creation of this department. Director Bagid should be considered as the director of this department officially and not mere in an acting capacity coming from a regional office of the Commission on Election. Another issue, there is always a not a fight between, or there is always a misinterpretation or legal problem when it comes to the issue of the freedom of information enshrined under the Constitution. We call that the sunshine principle of the Constitution, vis-a-vis or versus the so-called the privacy of individuals. We are fully aware when you're a public official, there is no such thing supposedly of privacy. When you submit documents, especially to the Commission on Election, then these documents are considered public documents. And yet, when Right to Know right now, for example, will be asking the COMELEC documents and records submitted by political parties and candidates such as the SOSE, we will always redact certain information simply because of our fear that somebody will complain before the National Privacy Commission and file cases against individual members of the commission or even our officials and personnel of the commission election. But the question is, why is that so? When these are public instruments, when these are public documents, these were submitted solely and certainly for the purpose of the public knowing the items and matters included in these documents. And yet, until today, we are redacting. We're hoping that there will come a time that even the Supreme Court will clarify this legal infirmity. We're hoping that someday there will be a distinction between and not only the distinction but the end and start of when privacy can be invoked as against the right of the public for information. Should there be an amendment of the law? That may be the answer. Should there be a decision from the Supreme Court? That will also be an answer. It's very difficult on our part. Truly, we wanted to give all. We wanted to give all. Why should we prevent the public from knowing everything? That's the very purpose of a SOSE. And yet, because of that fear, because of that interpretation of the law that perhaps we can only reveal these things, refuse to reveal these things, that is where the problem will come in. Now, and the third issue is after the incident in Bamban Tarlac, where the COMELEC initially was castigated for not disqualifying a candidate simply because, according to them, that candidate appears and looks to be a foreigner. And we were saying we cannot do anything about that simply because under Section 76 of the Omnibus Election Code and the decision of the Supreme Court, our duty to accept certificates of candidacy is purely ministerial. We do not have any choice. You cannot just refuse accepting the candidacy simply because his eyes is too wide and or his eyes is too small. We have to accept the candidacy so long as the certificates of candidacy is complete, duly notarized, and have paid the documentary stamp tax. Why is that so important? Because of that experience of Bamban, the COMELEC for the first time decided to publicize all the certificates of candidacies of all candidates for the first time in our website. Perhaps not everyone know that, but we are saying we had announced to the entire world we are going to publish the certificates of candidacy so that everyone will know who is the candidate, what is the background of this candidate. And my question is, despite the COMELEC publishing the COC, did the number of filers opposing a candidate increase? The answer is not. And therefore, it would appear that the response of the Commission, which is to publish this document, had not had a similar enthusiasm coming from our people, from the electorate. We were hoping that because of the publication, the number of filers or oppositors will increase, especially questioning citizenship, residency, registration as a voter. Not may not necessarily be about literacy. Did they use the COCs as we publish? The reason why I revealed that to you is because that same thing may happen to our SOSE. Yes, we are going to publicize the SOSE for the information of the members of the media. The SOSE of candidates for senators, party lists, and congressmen can now be seen in a website of the Commission on Election from today, beginning today. But what we are saying is we publicize. What happens next? Aside from the right to know right now or PCIJ, will anybody and the members of the media will even be interested in finding who filed, who did not file, who contributed, how much was the contribution, how the contribution was spent, did the members of the media, the stations reported properly, how many minutes were consumed, will they be interested? That is the question. So it is not enough, I think, that we will afford transparency to ensure accountability. But we have to encourage our people to be more aware of the importance of these documents because this should always be an election issue. Whoever will be running for a public office, whether to a similar office or to a higher office, we must always demand to them, hold them accountable. Why did you not file a SOSE? You filed a SOSE more than 5 pesos more of what you should be spending. Why did you hire this particular contractor, supposedly a donor? Why did you accept contribution coming from this? We have to account these matters from them. We have to demand. That should be the purpose, not only of the submission of SOSE, that should be the purpose likewise of publication, so that the people will not only be aware, the people will be empowered. That is the purpose of what we call democracy, empowering the people. The government must always be responsible, including the officials, on their action. This may be just a mere piece of documents, duly notarized. But this piece of document speaks a lot when it comes to the character, when it comes to the kind of leaders that we are electing. It is not enough, ladies and gentlemen, that we will listen to their platforms of government, to their promises. But after their submission of their source at 30 days after the election, the question now is, what happens next? What are we going to do? And that is a challenge to the Filipino people. Just the other day, June 30, 1201, one of the greatest blessings of Philippine democracy happened. And I have been saying that since yesterday. And what was that? The peaceful transfer of power. Peaceful transfer of power. Hindi po lahat ng bansa nakaka-experience ng peaceful transfer of power. It is not only because the Commission on Election perhaps have done our job, but we have to give credit to the Filipino people. That's why we are challenging now the Filipino people. It's not enough that 82.2% went to the polling precincts. We have to demand accountability. And this is the right time. This is just the beginning. TOSE may just be the beginning. Thank you very much and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Chairman George Elian Garcia, and thank you for your continued leadership, which guides the COMELEC in its transformation efforts towards more digital and transparent future. Now, at this point, we open our forum for questions, but we have house rules. So everyone is entitled to ask questions. I'm sure that you may have questions. When we had our presentation a while ago about the web application, we may just have a query or clarification that you would want to raise in this forum. So for our house rules, number one, please introduce yourselves and please identify the organization or the media outlet you are representing. And then second, please also identify the person to whom you are addressing this question. So do we have any questions? Don't worry, we won't judge you. For some of you may also have some clarifications about the project, about the system or the application to use. I think I'm seeing no hands raised at the moment. There's one at, kindly go ahead, ma'am, please.
Good afternoon po. I'm Diane from Inquirer. This question po is for Commissioner Celis. So you mentioned po earlier that the platform is free from hacking and any security risk. What is the process po that arrived in this feat po na nabanggit kanina? And how and what will be the assurance po that this will be continue to be implemented in security?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Ms. Dayan. So we closely coordinated with Secretary Aguda, Henry Aguda, for this project. And of course, through their group doing the risk assessment, especially for this information security, they made sure that through the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing that they did for the Suri project is free from any possible intrusion or possible hacking because they already implemented several information security tools for this. And we know that the Department of Information and Communications Technology would always make sure that all the systems that are hosted in their platforms are all secured. So not only Project Suri is hosted in the DICT, even during the 2025 national and local election, the Project of Precinct Prime there, I mean, is also hosted in the DICT and other systems. And we in COMELEC are very grateful to their continued support to the Commission on Elections in making sure that all the systems that we have implemented are all secure. Thank you very much, Ms. Dayan.
Thank you very much, Comsales, for answering the question. Do you have other questions or clarifications? Seeing none, we are now concluding the open forum or, oh, okay. My apologies. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Madam.
Actually, the project is so promising, but I wanted to find out certain details like what is the retention period for the data enrolled on the app? Meaning, how long would it run until the next elections in 2028? Are you thinking in terms of baselining the data? Second, how granular would the data be? Let's say up to the level of local government officials, and next off we have barangay elections. So is there a direction towards making it very granular? And finally, would you have a mind to installing an API or automated protocol interface so that people, not just COMELEC, could generate and sort data? Thank you.
To answer the question, we respectfully invite Director Operating Eat.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, with respect to the retention of data, under the law, the hard copy will be retained within 3 years, no, for the next election. But for purposes of our future references and research, we will be having it, no, for a long time. No, another one with respect to the granular, we intend to use this for the next succeeding elections, including barangay elections. Up to that level.
For API installation,
Yeah.
Ma'am, since I'm the technical, yung API po, right now we don't have it, but we're planning to enhance the SOSE in the future elections. So we will take that up if it's going to be useful, right, ma'am.
those are very good questions, and thank you to our PPAC for answering those questions. Do we have other questions or clarifications? We have not yet finally concluded the open forum. Please go ahead if you have any questions or clarifications. Okay, so seeing none, we're now finally concluding the Q&A portion. We now proceed to the moment we've been waiting for, and that is the ceremonial launch of Project Suri. Siya sa atin unawain, resolbahin at ipanagot. To lead us for the ceremonial launch and for a photo opportunity, may we respectfully invite to stand here in front our distinguished guests, His Excellency Endo Kazuya, Honorable Edwin Perry, Ms. Malu Mangahas, and also Chairman George Erwin M. Garcia, Commissioner Ray E. Gulay, Commissioner Nelson Celis. It's mentioned by Honorable Edwin Perry. This is the big moment that we've been waiting for. So, to the audience, everyone, we will be participating by starting the counts. We will begin with the number one. So, one, two, and three. And for our principals, we respectfully request that you place a hand on the push button to officially give way to the ceremonial launch. We're also requesting the presence of our Commissioner Regina Tagara and Commissioner Noli Pisco to join the ceremonial launch and the photo opportunity in front. Once again, to the audience, we'll be counting one, two, three. Okay, for a photo opportunity first. More photos from our representatives from media. And more photos and video coverage. Okay, right now we request our principals to gather around the push button and to place a hand there while the audience will count. Okay, so let's start the counting. One, two, three. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the official launch of Project Suri. Congratulations to the Commission of Elections, our key stakeholders, and our partners for the successful launch. Before everyone goes, we respectfully request your presence for the uh, PM snacks, for the afternoon snacks we have prepared for everyone. By the way, this has been Attorney Bianca Infantado from the Office of Commissioner Noli R. People. Thank you everyone for joining us and see you on our next edition.